I'd be sure I spelled it wrong. I spelled it wrong. Determinization. I'd spell stuff wrong all the time. All right, let me get everything up and rolling here, and we'll get going. Self-profit and self-determination, and it's the weirdest thing. Everybody wants to tell every other body what they gonna do, how they gonna do it, when they gonna do it, why they gonna do it, who they gonna do it with. And I just sit back here and I'm just like, man, come on, y'all. So past 24 hours, I've been watching videos here and there, checking different things. All kind of fun stuff I want to talk about. I will get into the news today. There were some interesting things that I think I'd like to share. But I was looking at gender roles, gender specifics, the positions of the left and the right. Oh, you know what? Before I get into that, I gotta show you something. Woo! Do I gotta show you something? Oh my gosh! Do I have something to show you? Wait a minute. Hold on. You're gonna start your day on a blessed tear dropping morning. Let me.
I should speak.
Y'all see this?
I would only read your way.
Y'all see
So
this?
I go, but I know I think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you.
I'm not gonna play anymore. I'm not gonna play no more. All I'ma say, if everybody woke up in the morning and listened to this little girl sing, oh my God, this world would be reversed in that. I don't know anything about souls coming back, being put in other people, reincarnation. But oh my God, I'm not gonna play it because I'm gonna make y'all play it. You gotta play this, girl. It's on my timeline. I posted it yesterday. I don't know who. I think Norma gave it to me. Norma posted it on my timeline. Oh my God. If if Whitney Houston did not come back to life, because I've only heard that song twice, sang, and I came to tears. I had tears in my eyes yesterday. When you listen to this beautiful little angel sing that song, you're not gonna want to be on the left no more. You're not gonna want to be on the right no more. You're not gonna want to drop missiles and bombs and do all the dumb stuff. When you realize what's coming next after us is so beautiful, oh man, all I'm saying is this little girl needs to go viral. Y'all need to be posting her on your timeline, sharing, linking, tagging, all the stuff you do. She has such a phenomenal voice. Oh my gosh. See, that's who I listen to. When you talk about mainstream music, I don't listen to much music. I don't think the very little music today is worth a damn to me. I have almost no interest in it. I don't even own a radio, I don't think. This little girl had an album. That'll be the first album I bought in probably 15, 20 years. I'll buy that. I'm not into mainstream stuff. Like it's to me it's kind of silly. If you heard it, why I want to hear it? Like if you live in Montana and it's hot in Montana, then we meet. I don't want to talk about well, okay, and I like Nora Jones. That's not fair. But I don't want to talk about the same person we listen to. I want you to tell me who's hot in Montana. I want to hear some Montana music. If it's a banjo, damn it, take it out. I want to hear something beautiful. And in my town, I like local music. We have these cafe concerts. I go around at different cafes and just they call them poor, starving musicians now, where they travel from town to town, city to city, state to state, and they'll play local music. And they're playing for food. Pay their hotel costs. Sometimes they sleep in their car, but that's the music I love, and I want to share that with other people. Okay, so I just lied to you, but it's okay. This is America, y'all. Everybody lies. Lying is bad though. When you lie, you're supposed to admit it to everybody, to the world, and fix it. So I just lied. I did lie. I did buy an album, I have to admit. Because when I would go to these cafe concerts, the circuits around Philadelphia, I would buy the album. Why? Because I sat down, had a wonderful evening, sat within 15 feet of the singer or the musician, personal. You could see their face, you could see their emotion. And that's what does it for me. Gave you something that I didn't like that much that I bought. But that's what like local is about. That's what sustainability is. That's what I loved about music is that it was impressionist. And it was just, you had real art in it. It wasn't because your daddy knew somebody that sent him to sing classes, name was Britney Spears, something like that, had a big old album and sold it to every damn person in the world. No, I like local stuff. Y'all should listen to this girl. She has a rendition that will blow your mind. Watch the whole thing. You know what? Next time you get in an argument online and you trying to be an internet thug, there's a lot of internet thugs around. Listen to this girl. And then try to go back to your little thug conversation where you think you know everything. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. How's everybody doing this morning? Beautiful soul. I had to put her on blast because she is amazing. You bring me to tears. You down in my heart. This little girl, she needs to have an album. That's who needs to have the albums. Real raw talent. So, who's in the house this morning? What are we gonna do this morning? We got Renee and Chris. Joyce, good morning. Hello, Sharon, Nathaniel, Pat. Oh, Pat's in the house. Welcome, Pat. Teresa, Katie, Lynn. See a couple names I don't recognize. Elaine, Buddha in the house as always. Good morning, Crystal and Ray, Renee and Ray and Nora and Mary and Fryer and Joe. All right, Melba. Okay, it looks like Brother John is in the house. We got a quorum of people, and Sue came in at the last minute. Hey, Sue, how you doing? Sue's an activist friend of mine going way back in the day. I got people I know, people I don't know, but we all family, so it's all good. I got in trouble yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I got in trouble. So they had this app, and apparently you go to the app. Let me see if I can find it. You go to the app and you put your picture in. No, you don't put your picture. You go to the app. It's on my timeline somewhere, and you go down to the app, and it takes your picture, and it makes you a woman. And if you're a woman, it makes you a man. Although I'm trying to remember if I had to check a button, if it knew that I was a woman or a man. And who in the world is posting all this stuff on my timeline? I can't even get down to the bottom of stuff. Oh yeah, they had me. Yeah, yesterday we were doing that's why I don't like to do alien stuff during the week and UFOs and whistleblowers and lying stuff about, because that stuff would get you in a rabbit hole. I didn't pick any cotton yesterday. Anyway, so I got in trouble with this one. My inbox started blipping and blipping and blipping. Everybody telling me about how they're trying to change everybody's genders, and the left got their position. And I guess on the left they have how many genders do y'all have now? Y'all so brilliant, y'all so smart, y'all know every damn thing. They're like 27 genders or something. I forget. It keeps going up. The number's growing. It was 2, and then it was 3, and I don't know what it is now. They brilliant, y'all. They know everything on the left. And on the right, it's 2. It's just male and female, and you know that's just how the whole universe works. They so brilliant. Y'all should just listen to the right. They understand. They know. It's like you know what? Half the time I'll do these things because I think they're funny, and I click on it, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. I won't post it. And I clicked on, oh, I'm gonna be ugly. I'm gonna have a beard, nasty, scrawly, and just gonna put a wig and mop on my head, and I'm gonna look like Medea or something. I clicked on this ad, and as soon as that picture came up, I was like, ooh, oh my goodness, who is Gerarda? Gerarda kind of hot. I was getting kind of a little excited, like, okay. You know, because you ever get the trolls? You ever get the trolls where they send you friend invites and you click on it? For men, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's always a big, just boobylicious girl. You got boobies hanging out everywhere. It's just ridiculous. You know, and they're just women, and, you know, and it's just like, you click on it and you're like, oh. And then your mind, you say, you're almost about to hit confirm. You say, oh, wait, no, this is not a real person. This is Ricky. Ricky is in a data center. He's got zits all on his face. He's about 18. He works for Microsoft. And they're just testing the AI out. And I clicked off on it. But I saw this and then I got in trouble. And it's just like, okay, so are they trying to tell us something about gender? Are they trying to walk people into multi-genders and screw the kids up? You know, my kids, they have a class, and to be honest with you, it disturbed me initially. They had a class in their school, and it was, I guess it might have been called gender sensitivity or something like that. I keep saying it all the time. Y'all know I'm a Christian, but I'm not a Christian in terms of identity. I think that's a little dangerous. I don't really like that because I don't know that I identify with modern Christians because they hate Christ, but that's a whole nother discussion. So when I say I'm Christian, I'm basically saying my skin is brown. Doesn't mean a damn thing. Saying my eyes are brown doesn't mean a damn thing. It means I got long toenails. That's just how I was raised, and that's my indoctrination. That's I was indoctrinated, but it was a love brand of Christianity. It wasn't a war brand where you go murder people and take the stuff. Y'all know when it says thou shalt in the Bible, thou shalt is a knot behind that. It's a thou shalt and it's a knot. Because a lot of pastors, they missed the knot part and they get everybody cheering for politicians. But anyway, so when I first saw the class, I was like, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to walk us into, you know, being gender, you know, messing up the kids, taking weird kids and messing them up? And that was my indoctrination, right? I'll admit to you, when I'm wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong. And I didn't say anything about it. I just thought it was weird. I talked to their mother about it. It's like, this is just weird. I don't know what's happening to the world. Everybody trying to make everybody homosexual. But after paying a little attention to it, here I am 10 years later, something like that. And I'm just thinking about this stuff. I was listening to them talk about the gender identities and where all this is going and where we come from. So first of all, are they trying to mess up kids? No, I don't think so. I think some people are, but I don't think kids are mess upable like that. I don't think you can mess up. And so hear me out, people already forming their positions and everybody, oh, here we go. So I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this one, but just hear me out for a second. So, you know, there's sex and there's gender, right? The way I hear it described. So you've got sex and that's attached to procreation, right? You got this and that, and you put this and that together, funky things happen, you see stars, and next thing you know, kids popping out. Procreation. I did that a couple times, my damn self. Thank you, Sade. Sade gave me a whole bunch of children. But anyway, so there's sex, but then there's gender. And that's more of a cultural thing, right? Well, it's becoming more of a cultural thing because it's tied to many of the 27,000 or 26,000 different DNA that we have, right? And that DNA gives you those predispositions. We talk a lot about the warrior gene and how you've got predispositions for, well, when you're born, you're neutral, and then you start getting them. Your epigenetics starts flipping genes, and you start becoming who you're going to become. And then, you know, you are male, you are female. The first thing I think about when it comes to all of this, and this nonsense, because to me it's nonsense. I honestly don't think there is a position in gender and sex, because I think everyone's always trying to determine something for you. I think everyone's always trying to tell you they know things they couldn't possibly know. Like the whole human civilization has been about people trying to tell you what box you're in and put you in there because it makes a lot of money if you're in that box. Now I can get you together and we can get against the others in that other box and we can do something. I can make some money, I get some power, whatever. So there's no profit in self-determination. There's no profit in sitting back and saying, you know what? This is a child. I'm going to feed it. I'm going to clothe it. I'm going to love it. And whatever it becomes, it becomes. There's no profit in that. But there is profit if this is a child. It's got brown skin. I'm going to call it black. It's got a penis. I'm going to call it a male. It's got this, you know, I'm this religion. I'm going to give it this. And so I think we're going the wrong direction in terms of determining for kids what they'll become. Like, I'll be honest, I love my father to death. God rest his soul. But I think if I was homosexual, if I had, you know what? I'm not going to use that word. I apologize. I don't want to use these words because the words, to me, they don't really mean anything. If I wasn't what they raised me to be, I'd have been something else. And if I had been something else and I preferred men as opposed to women, my father, But listen, my father, oh, listen, he'd have had two sons at that point. He'd had two sons. But I think in time he did it. But we have to get past this. And it's not a left-right thing. It's just it's a thing. It's a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. How about this? How about it's not a thing till your kids make it a thing? How about you just let your kids be what they are? And I know some of my Christian friends stepping back, or not even as religious friends too, my Muslim friends stepping back like, yeah, you always pushing them limits. You always pushing them. I'm not feeling. Okay, think about this for a minute. Who makes children? All right, my scientific friends, y'all stay on that side for a minute. Just listen. Who makes children, religious people? God does. Who forms all of their DNA? God does. And now we know children are born, what is it? 1 in every 2,000 have both a penis and a vagina. God did that. Now we know the gender is tied to all of these different genes we have in this massive, massive matrix that kind of forms things that you like. You got boys that like this and girls that like that. And that becoming, because you like this, people say you're this gender. I got a little, I would do my quotes, but I hate the quote thing. I got a little boy like to play with dresses, wear dresses, and likes pink. So he must be a girl. He must be something wrong with him, or that's what he's supposed to be. So I'm going to push him in that direction. And I just think we're screwing kids up by determining things for them. I think we're screwing them up. I think that we got Yasu, we got a creator. It makes a thing. And then you got a bunch of people who try to tell that thing it's something else. Whether it's extreme on this side or extreme on that side. It's not left, right, or anything. It's just, why don't you let kids be kids? There's some boys that like to play with dolls, if you call them boys. I want to get to a place, and I'm not that smart yet. I want to get to a place where I don't call them boys and girls. I don't want to say male and female. Because I do, based on everything I know of science, I do agree that there is some sort of spectrum when it comes to sex. And I think it's a natural thing, right? And it's an epigenetics thing. If you think about it, there are species all over this planet that change their sex. There are reptiles, there are frogs, I think when we all are started as fetuses, we're all female. And then something makes a determination that says, we got too much ignorance. So we're not gonna make no more males. It's too much heavy on the male side. So we're gonna make some females, and sometimes I think maybe it's just too many damn things on the planet. It's too many of them human things. So maybe we need to make a lot of them sterile at birth. Maybe they don't have any genitals. Maybe they got both. I don't think that nature's broken. This is where I come from. I don't think nature's broken. And if we want to say creator, I don't think our creator's dumb. I think all of this works together in a perfect matrix of we don't know what the hell is going on. And maybe we should stop telling people and determining for them what they are. Like, there's so many terms and stuff. And I was watching a lecture and I was trying to swallow all of it. There's just so many names and labels and all of this stuff. And you know what? The only thing I kept saying, I just kept saying that you're just funneling kids into different pens and you're raising them like cattle and you're indoctrinating to something that they may not be. No different than what the 1% does to us. Because to them, making you black and making you Jewish and making you male or female or American or Israeli, whatever they tell you you are based on where you're born, they make a lot of profit from it. Now, hell yeah, the 1%, 0.001%, they make a lot more profit than a mother or father does. But don't they make profit too? Don't they gain in bringing another Filipino into the world? Don't they gain in bringing another Christian into the world for the Crusades? Isn't there a gain there? We need to stop determining things for people. That's my 2 cents. I got in a little bit of trouble for it. I thought it was funny. Listen, I think we need a lot less people who take themselves so daggone serious. Why are you so serious? Like where I'm at, I don't even call anybody anything. Like all these names is transvestite and transgender and trans, and I'm not against that. If you that's your identity, male, female, if you want to be that, black, white, whatever, I'm fine with that. I believe in your own self-determination. If you want to identify as these things, then hey, more power to you. I personally don't. I have no interest in identities because none of the identity categories encompass me, damn it. I'm bigger than that. They don't encompass me. I don't even know what the hell I am half the time. So why would I identify with you? The only thing I think I kind of sort of identify with is I'm a human. I identify with that most times. Sometimes aliens show up, I ain't with y'all. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I got in trouble with that the other day too. I was like, you know what? Y'all hear some snickering when y'all at the great pearly gates and God is there and everybody's telling on each other and the Muslims telling on the Christians and the Islam telling this and the Christians telling on it. All I know is the modern Christians, y'all in big trouble. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna be standing when God asked everybody what they done did on the earth while he was flying in the UFO somewhere. I'm gonna step to the side and like this, like, okay, I'm not really with the Christians. I don't know. I don't really don't know. Listen, read your Bible, y'all. Read your Bible, read your Gita, read your Quran, whatever you have, read it. It's love all over it. It's gonna be, Cliff Notes ain't gonna help you, right? You all go to your temples and your churches and stuff. The Cliff Notes ain't gonna help. Those books say don't kill people, don't steal from people, don't take their lands and rob them. All the books say it. And if you see somebody doing that, that person is not that. All right, I'm done with that one. I'm not gonna go anymore. Seeking profit is our fall. Yes, it is, Sue. Thank you, girl. Seeking profit is our fall. We have to step away from the profit stuff. So let me keep going. So look at the Sphinx, y'all. Y'all see the Sphinx? Y'all see what's behind the Sphinx? Man, they got mountains behind the Sphinx now. They done deleted the pyramids. No, actually, this is not the Sphinx. This is a mock of the Sphinx. This is in China, where China mocks everything. And now we're starting to find out why, though. Let me see if I got a picture of this one. We're starting to find out why. So China built all of these cities, all out in western parts of China, massive, massive cities. They have cities that resemble, I think they have one for London, and they got one for New York, and they got all these massive cities, and don't nobody live in them. They're replicas, right? They're massive, massive replicas, like of Manhattan, and they're like 8 people that live in there. Now we're starting to find out why. China, I love China, and sometimes I don't understand China. Oh, you know, I can't go to the Silk Road. Hold on. So there was one time, a long time ago. Uh-oh. I don't have it. Dagnabbit. I thought I had everything prepared. So what China is doing is the first story. Long time ago, there was a caveman. He had a chisel and some stone, and he made a wheel. And after that, for 200,000 damn years, everybody just embraced this technology, refused to do anything else. Made gasoline engines, everything was on a wheel. China is rebuilding the Silk Road, y'all. I didn't know this. China, they took, how much did they take? They took, I think it was $30 billion, I think it was. It was either 30 or it was 200. I forgot. The point is, it's a hell of a lot less than what America got more money for to go murder and kill people for the war budget. But that's another story. For the defense budget, because everybody's trying to invade and attack America, so the defense budget. But they took that money, got from the World Bank, corrupt bank, bad people, don't ever talk to them. Don't invite them to dinner. And they're rebuilding the Silk Road. Y'all remember the Silk Road from high school. That was back when it was Alexander the Great was one of the first, and China was blocked off, and they built the wall. They had nothing to do with y'all crazy human beings, and they built this massive trade route. China is rebuilding it. They are building a massive highway connecting the Sphinx with Manhattan, going through London, and it's going to go all the way across West China into Northern Africa and Europe. Imagine that. Imagine that. Phenomenal, phenomenal thing. There's a great documentary. I'll post it if you want to see it. You can find it. I think YouTube probably has it. But it's a wonderful thing. Trade is a good thing. You know what I like about trade? You know what I like about China? What I like about China is they understand when people get along and they have a vested interest in each other's survival, they're less predisposed to kill each other. And trade, I think, is one of the effective ways you combat war. Because if you really even think about it, and I'm not a big a trading block person. Y'all know my position on big continental trading blocks and trade agreements. That's all for billionaires. That has nothing to do with common people. But there is an extent to what those billionaires will let the governments do in terms of where they produce war, right? Because if that billionaire is getting a lot of money out of that country and he's in the favor billionaire group with the oligarchs, they're not going to let the war do but so much. They'll go in and murder people and rape people, whatever they got to do, but they won't let you destroy certain key infrastructure. They'll maintain the roads and can't let you kill but too many people. Trade prevents war. So I think this is a great thing China's doing. It's probably the wrong time. I'm not sure. I think they're a little too late because the wheel is 200,000 years. How old is the wheel? The wheel is very old. The wheel is very old. So I don't know that it's a sustainable thing. It's a good thing in reducing trade. I love it for that aspect. But haven't we gotten past this idea of the wheel in a car? Like, aren't there some other things we can do? Like, don't we have maglev trains now? Don't we have the ability to hover? Can't you make a roadway out of using magnets and magnetic cars or something that get gas mileage just unforeseeable? Like, we have very old technology. And so I don't know. I love what they're doing in terms of breaking up that all the stands, right? Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Uzbekistan, Yamanistan, there's a whole bunch of stands out there. They're breaking up all of that nonsense because they're sending roads through places that are like locked into the 1950s, which is awesome. You're opening trade with those people. You're getting people to send goods back and forth. You're breaking up the ignorance about who lives in the province the next door. So all of that is great. But can we do it on a non-petroleum based solution? Like, I'm thinking that maybe we should do that, but put in road systems that have the magnetic lift things where the car starts going this way and it'll keep going that way for extended periods of time because it's floating and it's a frictionless surface, and you stop on the other end. Like, I think we need to employ modern technology a little more than we need, than we are, and we need to get off of the petroleum stuff. So that's something China's doing, which is awesome. And it's not really, I guess, massive trade because they already got the trains with all the massive trade. This is more people going back and forth, exchanging good poor people who can't afford the shipping crates, but they can buy a truck and they got a business and they can drive a truck from Europe to China and sell something. But it's also because China has a plan. Don't ever mistake China for not having a plan. China knows what they're doing. They are what there was a quote someone said. It says, when the United States wants to, it's not, I keep hitting the United States. When the West wants to sell you something, they come to you, and if you don't want to buy it, they blow up your country and they force you to buy it. But when China wants to sell you something, they just knock on your door and they say, hey, I got something to sell you. Now, they may not give you a good deal. They make you haggle, but it's a wise way of doing things. And the thing I get sick of being in the United States is I get sick of seeing the wise things all of these other countries are doing while we're still doing crazy ignorant stuff. They're spending money on infrastructure while we're spending money still trying to kill people. So it's some good news this morning too. Some other good, but this is bad news. I have some good news. This next one, this is bad news. So, man, I saw this commercial. I don't know if y'all saw that commercial for what was it, for Microsoft AI. I don't know if y'all saw that. Microsoft AI. So apparently they got this fun commercial. It's exciting, full of good music, deep talking brother, just walking everybody into AI. And I don't think we can stop it. I don't think that you're going to do anything to delay AI. What's his name? Elon Musk. He knows that, which is why he said we shouldn't be doing this. And now, after everyone, they decide they're going to keep doing it. The brother's building rockets, like my son was telling me this morning. He said, Dad, Elon Musk just firing rockets left and right. Every day he's been launching a rocket. That dude, he's trying to get the hell out of here. He does not want to stick around because he understands, I think, the danger of AI, which, to a degree, takes away self-determination. If you think about it, I think it's kind of related because what is AI? And Microsoft AI, it's not killer robots, not yet. If it is, not telling us, but they're going to make your computer work a little better, right? Your computer's going to predict what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. Your software might work a little better because it'll have the procedures and plugins for software engineers to actually write software that plugs in with the AI to figure things out about your patterns and what you do. You know, so so I had a bad thought. So when it's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night and your wife is out at the chess club with her girlfriends or whatever, it'll just automatically go to pornography sites for you. When you open the web browser, it's not gonna. It is. All right, bad one. So look at this brother. This brother is a Eric Lundgren. He got in big trouble. Oh my gosh. I mean, So he got in big trouble with Microsoft because Microsoft, which is why I'm thinking it's a bad timing for AI. You're not going to stop it. And how I know you're not going to stop it, no matter how much we say, is because you try to take someone's smartphone and see what happens. You can't take their dumb eye. So you are never going to take their AI. It's not going to happen. Alexa and Google and all of the smart houses being rolled out everywhere, you're not pulling that back. People are lazy. They're lazy and they're fat and they love their convenience. And you're not going to take that from them. They're not going to go back to the days. Remember the days we used to be our parents' remote control? If you were the youngest, your name was remote. That was your name, because anytime it was time Falcon Crest went off, you had to turn the channel because Dukes of Hazzard were coming on. Your parents tell you, go up there, turn the channel. You were the remote control. People aren't going to give that up. They're not going to give it up. So AI is full steam ahead. Elon Musk trying to get the hell off the planet. But it's a bad time for it. It's a bad time for it because why do you want corporations that don't mind murdering people, that don't mind buying governments because they can grow more bananas, Chiquita banana. They don't mind killing people for profit. And they get caught doing it. And they do it again. Why is Chiquita banana still a company? I'm just curious. Why is every grocery store in America still got Chiquita banana? I don't understand. But if you get caught murdering people, you shouldn't be allowed to continue. Why is Monsanto still a company? Why weren't they broken up? So anyway, so Eric got in trouble because Microsoft is a massive corporation. And they have a model that's based in planned obsolescence, like every other operating system company. Why? They sell you, first of all, the story starts with slavery. They get poor people to go mine things. Sometimes they use assault rifles, you know, the ones that the same government you're asking to get rid of them. They give assault rifles to gangs to go get kids to mine coltan, other minerals. They make small electronics. They come back to your country, and companies like Microsoft make operating systems that will only last 3 years, sometimes tops, and then they fail. And so you throw away the laptop. So the kids got to do more slavery and get more minerals to make more laptops so they can sell more of them. What Eric was doing is he knew something that just was just basic, common, stupid, dumb sense. And we knew this back since Windows 3.1. I know young people, y'all don't know what that is. Don't worry. It was caveman. It was like a wheel. We knew this back with MS-DOS and Windows 3.1, that when the operating system stops working, you reload the damn thing and it works again. Which is why you don't get a disk with your operating system anymore, because it's planned obsolescence. They make it harder and harder for you to do that. So this brother figured out, you know what? I can start a business reloading software. I can make people's laptops last longer. I can fight slavery. And he did. And he got in trouble for it. So because he was helping people and giving restore disk and reloading software out up on people's machines, so slavery isn't as prolific as it is today, he was one of the ones who stepped outside of the bull that most of us live in and decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a difference. I'm gonna reinstall people's operating systems so kids don't have to live in slavery as much. He's not like us. He didn't sit back and just talk bad about slavery in the South in America, slavery everywhere else, but keep buying new laptops every time they break instead of trying to fix them. He knew that we have to go back to fixing and repairing things. I would show you something, damn it. I got to fix my hot water heater. I got the thermostat fried up on it. I got to fix it. Then people ask, why are you fixing your hot water heater? Dummy, because it broke. Are you a repairman? I'm a man. I guess I'm a man. And then, but the gender stuff, who knows what I am. But I'm still going to fix it because it's stupid to go buy another one. That's why. It's stupid to go to Sears and get another hot water heater when it breaks. This is what you do, dummy. You go out to YouTube, you type in how to fix my hot water heater, and you'll see a dude who'll come on. He'll probably be a fat dude. You might see a little butt crack, but he'll explain to you how to fix your hot water heater. And so I ordered the parts, and I'm going to fix it. Why? Because I want to try to do my little part. I'm not as good as Eric, but I'm gonna try to do my little part because I do believe slavery's a bad thing. I'm not trying to sell a book. I'm not a politician and I don't have a career. I don't make no money doing this, but I want to do my best because if I say slavery's a bad thing, I'm gonna act like it. I'm not gonna cheer. If you post that you bought the iPhone 22, that's what it's up to, I'm not gonna like your post. I'm not. You share it on my timeline, I'm gonna hit delete. I don't want to see that. To me, that's not good. That's not smart. My kids see what I do. I'm not gonna let them see me supporting slavery and cheering and talking about how good it is. I'm not gonna do a video talking about the new Samsung, how awesome it is, and you should do this. No, that's like pulling a slave up with some cotton and showing, look, cotton, it's cotton ball. All right. Anyway, so let's keep going. So, brother Eric, look, this brother's in trouble. We need to support this man. Listen to him for a second.
And when you buy a computer, it comes on the computer. And technically, that software is used with a license that came with that computer. And the license is, it gives the user the right to use that software as many times as they want on that computer. So technically, I didn't think I was breaking the law. And in fact, I still don't think I was breaking the law in that retrospect. I think I was helping people extend the life cycle of their electronics to combat planned obsolescence and to make sure that we keep as much working product out of landfills as possible. I've been a recycler for 16 years, and all I care about is the environment. I want to make sure that things that work continue to work for the benefit of mankind. That's my purpose in life, or it has been for the last 16 years.
See, you heard him say it himself. He's a domestic terrorist. He's a domestic terrorist. He's trying to rebuild things and save the planet and the earth and green stuff in the environment. He's a terrorist. So he's going to prison for 2 years, I think. So the good thing is they're reviewing his case and possibly he may not go to prison. So I'm going to share his video out. I'd appreciate y'all sharing this video too. We don't want this brother to go to jail and pay a $15,000 fine because America is still crooked, crime, blind, crazy, and stupid and hadn't figured out that France, did you know that France, it's against the law to have a corporation with a model based in planned obsolescence? That's why Apple's in trouble with them now. These are the things that you got to get behind. So this is a good thing. We need to adopt that from France. No, the American system isn't the best system, dummy. Don't be ignorant. Neither is the UK, stupid. Look at France. They know what they're doing. Now, they're crazy, too. There's some slavery and colonization, too. But we can learn from each other. Planned obsolescence is this idea that, okay, they'll sell you a hot water heater, and when it breaks, they want you to go buy a new one. No. Get the parts and a screwdriver and some YouTube and go fix it. I know. It's very simple. And if you really are that lazy, then call a local repairman and fix it. They still got those in our neighborhood. It's called Repairman. You go to the phone book, they still got phone books too. You can look them up and call them and always start with the A. It's always fun. I like the A's because they always say A, top one repairman because he knows it'll be in the front. Google doesn't work that way. So anyway, repair things. He's repairing operating systems. So do your best to not buy more and more small electronics. So it's planned obsolescence, and this is how they whittle this into our society, that we got to get out of this nonsense. So a couple other things are happening this morning. Oh, let me jump over. I got something else. Guess what? What is his name? I forgot the brother's name. The CEO of SeaWorld is stepping down. This is from one of my favorite movies. Y'all remember Orca? It's when the orcas got sick of y'all. And the orca, he got sick of y'all because y'all killed his wife and y'all killed his daughter. If y'all didn't ever see the movie Orca, you should go see the movie Orca. It's not going to be in the theaters. You could probably watch it on YouTube for free, but don't do that. You should buy the disc. You know, support copyright. Don't support copyright infringement. But Orca is awesome, right? So this is the male orca. He didn't finally decide he's sick of this man that killed his family. He's going to take him out. That orca, so the man had a right to self-determine. He determined that he was going to do the profitable thing and kill the orca, and now the orca is going to do the right thing. He's going to just take him out. Good movie. And I don't remember the end. Actually, this is 1977, I think. I don't remember in the end if he killed him or not. He might have got a heart and let him get away. But anyway, where am I going with this? So SeaWorld, what is the CEO's name? He is stepping down. This is the guy who, he took over SeaWorld. He had he was a very environmental thinking person. I forgot what corporation he worked for, but he took over SeaWorld and he stopped the breeding programs. You know, this is all based after Blackfish, the documentary. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. and he was going to change it into like an ecological friendly place down in SeaWorld. And we know now that you're not supposed to put an orca in a fish tank. And so the plan was they're not going to bring any more orcas in, and they're going to stop the breeding program, and he was going to try to make life good for the orcas that were still there. He didn't do it. Profits dropped. Y'all didn't believe it, which is a good thing. People stopped going to SeaWorld. So SeaWorld's having budgetary problems, and so they fired the CEO, which is a good thing, or he stepped down. My take on SeaWorld was this, is I have conflicting thoughts. Because the only reason right now there actually is an environmental movement that's strong is because as kids we fell in love with Shamu. We fell in love with the orcas at SeaWorld. I mean, that was one of the main things that there was difference between watching Jacques Cousteau on television, that's 13 inches, is black and white, got a crack through the middle of it, and actually going to SeaWorld and seeing them. We fell in love with the gorilla in the cage in the zoo. We fell in love with the tiger in the cage, and we fell in love with the monkey in the cage in the small room in the zoo. And as horrible as all of that is, it's only horrible today. Because when you look back, you know, we can critique really well when we look back, can't we? We're really good at that. We can always judge others when we look back. I suspect in the future they'll look at what we're doing in the zoos now. You know, the good thing in the zoo where they got the lions in the look like the Serengeti. You go there and now they're putting the humans in the cages. Some of them you can drive your car through them, and it's almost a mile long. I would suspect in 10 years, and they feel that they're doing great. In 10 years, we're going to look back and just how horrible that is. I can't believe they would do that to a lion. You know, a lion's supposed to self-determine. It's supposed to be free. It's supposed to run out on the Serengeti, 10-mile range. It needs to do the things that's natural. I think we should probably stop being so judgmental. I think that we're evolving. In some ways we are, some ways we're not. We're de-evolving in others. But I think we have to stop being so judgmental and look at the fact that, you know, let something happen, process what happened, use critical thought, and we do something better next year, and then do something better next year and next year. And so I think what he probably could have done, he could have probably made an ocean pen, right? They could have took the orcas and put them out in the ocean pens. They could have done probably a whole host of things instead of leave them in the same tanks that they did. I think his plan was to turn the shows into more learning shows, not making the animals jump and do flips and jump through hoops of fire and crazy things like that. Into more ecologically friendly shows. And he said, well, it's going to take a while to do that. You can't really stop on a dime and turn these shows into just ecologically animal friendly shows. And he didn't do it. And so he should have been fired. Hopefully the next CEO they get in there will be someone who can do it overnight. Yes, you can stop whipping a seal or whatever you do, you know, not feeding them, won't give them the treat unless they stand up and clap. You can stop doing that tomorrow. And the people who give a damn will still go to the show. So I know the new CEO, whoever he is coming into SeaWorld, you're not going to watch this. But if you do, we will support you. I get in my car and I drive all the way to Florida to go see your show. If your show is not making animals do dumb tricks the same way the politicians make the right and the left do. Talk about dumb talking points. If you stop making the animals look so dumb, I'll go to the show. I'll go to the show and support you just because you stop doing it. If you start converting the pens over to make them look natural, give them more room to work. Have you ever seen a picture over SeaWorld? I won't go and look into it into too much detail, but if you ever look at a picture of SeaWorld over the top, the parking lot is this big, and the animal enclosures in SeaWorld is like this big. So if you got a parking lot that's this big and you own all that property, and the SeaWorld I have to find a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I might have to find a picture because I'm trying to demonstrate something I'm not sure is coming out. SeaWorld, I don't know, we got drone footage. SeaWorld over top, parking lot. If y'all could probably type that in faster than me. But if you've got, where is my thing? if you have the ability, and of course you have the money to do it, do very simple things that I think are they're common sense that will give the animals a better life and will support you. Here we go. Here's one. This is it. Look at this. Look at this right. So this is SeaWorld over top. Look at the parking lot. It's encircled in yellow. And look where all the animals live. And that's not where the animals live, because the humans eat there too. They got the lunch, the cafes and the restaurants and the food place, the places where they go. Take some of that space and actually convert it over. Like, prove to us that you want to evolve with us. Everything is about going, evolving, and getting smarter, using critical thought and doing better. So that's what I think they can do. Hopefully they do it. Probably won't, because it's no profit in self-determination, which always gets back to that same theme. So, okay, what else we have over happening? Well, I missed a couple comments. I'm sorry, I'm off. Lynn can't stomach the zoo. I can't stomach the zoo either, Lynn. But I understand the purpose of it. We have to evolve the zoo into a model that works for the animals. This is what I think. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, because I have this thought. And my thought is, animals that humans don't fall in love with will go extinct. That's just going to happen. Whatever epigenetics is doing with our sex, our genders, hopefully it's trying to slow us down. It knows we're breeding way too damn fast. It's trying to slow us down. If we don't fall in love with these animals, if we don't make the next generation fall in love with these animals more than smartphones, they are going to go extinct. They're going extinct now, right? We're in the 4th great extinction. We have to figure out a way to get people to fall in love with animals and build habitats for them that equate what we have in nature to a degree. So I'm not an anti-zoo person. I am a pro. We got to figure out how to make the planet work with us, you know, because we're going to keep breeding. We're not going to. God can't crank. I'm gonna get in trouble with this. God can't crank out enough transsexuals, y'all. I know. I'm gonna get it on that one. But God can't. So people are gonna keep breeding. Our population is gonna keep exploding, and if it keeps exploding, then we're not gonna have these animals for long. So there's gotta be some sort of meeting in the middle, but we gotta keep moving forward. Let me see what y'all are saying. I probably got in big trouble for that. Oh, listen, if you just joined, we talked about gender. It's just God does what God does. Mother Nature does what Mother Nature does. There are no males and females. There's just 7 billion different type of humans, and they're all just all over the place. Don't put people in boxes. And when nature needs, it's too many frogs, nature's gonna sterilize a whole bunch of them. Like I know the synthetic drugs, and you're giving your children bare aspirin and Tylenol, and it's probably causing all type of genetic flips, which is messing with them too. But nature knows what it's doing, and I don't think it's gonna slow it down. So anyway, in animal slavery, it is animal slavery, Lynn, and I don't know how we get past that. We have to figure out a way to coexist. And I don't have an answer for it, so I'm not gonna pretend I have an answer for it. I just know that the next generation has to have the same love for animals that we do. They have a water park in the area too, even less for the animals. Lori, oh, I didn't know that. But see, self-determination is not profitable. They got all this land, they got a water park too, massive parking lot, but they're not using it for the animals. And that's why I'm saying it's BS. When they get down there, the CEO, and he talked about how he was going to evolve SeaWorld. He was it PETA or somebody? He was one organization he was working with, and he didn't do it. He said, "Oh, we need more time to transition." You don't need more time. It's like going to someone who has a dog, and they're beating the dog and they're training it how to fight, or a cock. You know, not a cock. Chicken, a chicken, and they're trying to train it how to chicken fight. I got to transition from beating this animal and starving it and making it mean. I need to transition from that into actually just feeding it and just letting it be what it is and giving it a bigger run, letting it run around the yard, taking it off a chain. You can very easily do that. So I don't know. I think there's mixtures in them. I think we have to find a way to coexist. It's one of the reasons I like aquaponics. It's a coexistence. It's a give the animal a place to live, the fish a place to live. You grow some food with it. You support each other. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat the fish, but then you eat the fish, I guess, and they don't like that part. But you have to have a relationship with what you eat too. I'm a vegetarian and I don't hate on meat eaters. I know my vegan friends are like, oh, here we go, click. But I don't hate on meat eaters. What I hate on, what I don't like, is you don't have a relationship with what you eat. If when we used to live on farms, used to raise the animals, used to love the animal, used to name the animal, used to care for the animal. In exchange for caring for that animal for 10 years or whatever it is, you gave to that animal for 10 years, and then that animal gives back to you after that 10 years. So I'm not against, people eating meat. I like the science of it. I don't eat animals myself. And it's not because I don't think people should eat animals. Well, I kind of think that, but it's not because of that. It's mostly because of health. No matter what people tells you, we haven't evolved to a place where we can process meat. Our body is not designed to do that, which is why most of the disease and ailments we have are related to malnutrition and all of this meat being jam-packed into a body and in a digestive system that's not designed like a carnivores. It's designed like a herbivores, like a cow, and it causes all types of problems. So that's why I don't think people should eat meat. But if you do, it shouldn't be factory farmed, right? Like that's really, to me, that's where a lot of that danger comes in. And that's where a lot of disrespect for the animal comes in. You take away their complete way for them to self-determine. They're not grazing in fields. They live in a pen. And after the end of a miserable, horrible 5 or 6 years of life, you slaughter it. That's a really bad thing. I think that actually might be why we have a lot of the problems we have with people, because they're eating animals that are depressed, sick, dying, ailed. We got what, 60% of our DNA is related to a cow, a mammal. You can't convince me that a lot of the colds and viruses and sicknesses that people have aren't related to what they eat, especially really, really sick animals. I'm convinced that viruses, well, I'm convinced because I listened to a lecture once. A doctor was talking about how viruses there are some that can exist and make it through the digestive system and the dangers of the acids in your stomach, and it's passing it on to you, and you're passing it on to your children. So that me and dairy and meat, we aren't friends for health reasons. But if you're gonna have animals, love those animals, right? Love them. Like let the animal be what it is. Show respect for it like all of our cultures have always done, if that's the route that you need to go. But showing more care, consideration, allowing it to self-determine. But of course, most people, if they had to raise the animals they ate, they wouldn't do it. They would become vegetarians overnight. We don't have that relationship. They wouldn't eat half of the steak and throw the rest of the steak in the trash. And they wouldn't have kids who only ate half a little piece of chicken and threw the rest away. We have a total disrespect for animal life from the beginning to the end with factory farming. So that's why I'm against that. Jasmine saying, so sad, how can we not love animals? Profit. Profit, and they keep animals in the factory farm away. I think, is it still illegal? For some reason in America, wasn't it illegal to actually film factory farming? They were throwing people in prison because they were filming and releasing on the internet. That's how they keep it profitable. It's profitable, and animals' lives can live horrible existences because people can't see it. Same way with Yemen. They put people in Yemen, they starve them to death. Nobody sees them, so nobody cares. Which is a good point, a good segue into Syria. Thank God for Russia. Appreciate Russia. Love Russia to death. I'm a Russian bot. You know why I like Russia? Russia right now is actually making or they're trying to do a humanitarian effort. Let me see if I can go to it. In Syria, you had a town in Syria. What is the name of it? Where they trapped all the people. It's the same town where that department of the United States CIA, Al-Qaeda, they put women in cages on the top of buildings to stop the bombing. Yeah, that happened. You didn't know that? That happened. It's the same town, and Russia is actually trying to make a way to get the people out of the town. So what ISIS, Al Qaeda, I forget their name half the time, so I just call it Washington. So that Washington department, what they're doing, their crew is preventing people from leaving the city. And so what Russia's doing is they're making, oh, here it goes. It's called a path of hope.
Russia says it's setting up humanitarian corridors in the Syrian enclave of Eastern Ghouta to allow civilians to leave the war-ravaged district. Eastern Ghouta is located just outside the capital, Damascus, and has been occupied by various rebel and terror groups for years. Violence has recently escalated there, with both sides exchanging fire and accusing each other of targeting civilians. Moscow now says and it will establish a humanitarian corridor and launch daily 5-hour pauses to provide aid to people in territories occupied by the military.
Whoa, that's some terrorism. Y'all hear that? You monsters! You Russian monsters! So, and this is what makes me sick. You know, you people with the Russian racism, you bigots. I'm just gonna call you what you are, bigots. I love you to death, but you're bigots. You're bigotry. Don't talk about other people being bigots if you a bigot too. So with all this Russian racism nonsense, Russia is actually doing a lot of great things. Now, is Putin like a good guy? No, he's a terrorist. He's a monster. I know he is. But he has got PR down packed. That brother knows how to win over the hearts and mind of the world. And he is. So Russia's trying to make a corridor between all the fighting factions of the United States and the other people, it's mostly the United States, and get people out of the freaking town where they were putting them on cages on top of the freaking building. I'm just like, it boggles my mind that people are so angry and hateful of Russia. Like, and this is why I always link this to racism, because that's what it is. It was with, what was it? So I'm saying ISIS, same thing. ISIS, human cages. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. Some of y'all don't believe this stuff. It was in the news on building tops. I hate to do this live because I misspell stuff. I don't know how to spell stuff. Where is it? Putting people in human cages and putting them on the tops of the building. Now, you know what? I don't see anything. They probably got rid of it. Why would they get rid of it? They probably got rid of it because they just don't want anybody to know what they're doing. But you can look up the news report. And so it's insane. So Russia's doing some very positive things, but nobody really talks about it in the mainstream media. Simply because they want to keep this anti-Russia bigotry just going and going and going. All right, I got a couple other news things I wanted to get to, but it's getting late. So I'm going to look at some comments and see how much trouble I'm in. Gold is the god of the system. Oz is the measurement used for gold. Gold is the god of the system. It is. It is. I don't believe that, that was Sister Sue. I don't believe that profit makes the world go round. Money doesn't make the world go round. Love makes the world go round, and dumb people are slowing it down with profit and greed. That's why I think we stopped evolving after we made money. And I'm not saying money's a bad thing. Money's just a thing. It's just like a gun. It's just a thing. But it's how we use it. And we use it to take life from animals. We use it to take away people's self-determination, which is what ISIS is doing, right? Because self-determination is not profitable. So letting people leave the city of Ghouta, did I say it right? Is that a cheese? I think that might be a cheese. Gupta, Sanjay, no, that's Sanjay, that's a doctor. I forgot the name of it already. I'm getting old. But anyway, letting people leave the city, letting them get out of the cage off of the rooftop, it's profitable. Why? Because the United States, sometimes they might stop bombing you. I don't think they did too much, though. I think they were just like, oh, well, you know, but it's profitable to take away people's self-determination. And that's what money does. That's what gold does. It takes away your determination. It takes people with a history of slavery and makes them happy with slavery. It takes a people who know slavery's wrong in the past, and it makes them okay with it because a new cell phone has a new app, and it can make me fat, and it can make me look like my neighbor. You know, it's silly stuff. So gold is definitely the demon. Crystal is vegan. That's awesome, Crystal. I tried to be vegan. It didn't work for me. Not for any crazy reason that, you know, people say, oh, I didn't get my B12, which is a myth. All of that stuff is crazy. These people don't know what they're talking about. I tell you that day, every day and Sunday. But because it just, I couldn't do it. Crystal, I tried. I'm too indoctrinated. I had too much meat in my life. And this stupid thing called cheese. And they put cheese, but I'm trying. I haven't given up. I got a great recipe. Somebody sent me for doing a vegan cheese, a raw vegan cheese. So I'm gonna try that and see how that goes. This one's neat because you can make it and you can slice it up like cheese. So I'll give that a shot. Out of nuts and other things. I wish I could be vegan. I'm not there yet. Keep praying for me. Keep hoping for me. I might get there. Your heart is open. Your heart open and your mind. Oh, thank you, Lori. I think it is. I hope it is. And I don't think it's a great thing. I think I need to open it more. And I need to meet more friends who are just on more extremes so I can be exposed to more things. But I think we all need to. That's what we always were. You know, it's profitable putting people in boxes, taking away their self-determination, taking away other self-determination, you know, through war or stealing their land or something. And we just have to go back to being human. I think that's the default for humanity. I think we never were closed-minded. We never were indoctrinated and given our own, you know, someone else determine what we are. That's why I don't really get the nationalism. I don't understand that. I don't understand why people are cheering that. I don't understand why you would call yourself left or right. I don't understand why you would take your integrity and give it to somebody else. Right? This is why, like I said, modern Christians, I don't think they're Christians. I don't. And I seriously doubt modern Muslims are Muslims, but probably more of them are Muslim than the modern Christians are, because they fell into these boxes where they're not allowed to determine. They gave up critical thought. They don't read what they're supposed to be doing. And so they get walked into this crazy stuff. But self-determination is not profitable. People can determine. Church won't get a lot of tithes. People may not pay their taxes. You know, so it's all throughout all layers and taking away a person's ability to have a right to just say, I am what I am. Leave people be. Just leave them be. Like, that's how the world works. It's not profitable, not in a financial sense, financial goal sense, but just leaving people alone is an amazing thing. Someone dumped a dogfight victim in a trash can here in Harrisburg last week. That's our PA capital. Yeah, Rebecca, I'm in PA, I know. I didn't know that. But that happens a lot, girl. You know what? They dump human beings in trash cans. Across the board, we have no respect for life. And the only way we get back to having a respect for life is through love. And we have to go back to reinstilling love in our kids more than all of these indoctrinated concepts. But it's a sick thing, and that's what the dog fights they do. When you lose, they just throw them away. We were not given meat, eating teeth. Yeah, we weren't. And I know, Sue, don't tell all the secrets. You know, our teeth are more for grinding vegetables, but people, you know, they don't want to go with that. But like I said, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not going to determine that you shouldn't be a meat eater. I'm just going to say, I'm not a meat eater. And you know what? It changed me. You think I was always this way? No, I wasn't. In college, I had a hoodie. I had some Timberland boots and pants sagging. We started the sagging. They didn't start in no prisons. We started that. All of that. You know, I was a student, so it was only pretend. It was it was some fake thuggery. You know, but then sometimes it had to be. When I was on college campus, we had these things called Omega Sci-Fi. They some monsters, y'all. We had to take them on a couple times. I didn't want to join no fraternity. Anyway, I won't go there. We had it. So, I'm not even sure where that went. I'm not sure. Okay, let me keep going. I'm not going to tell you. Some stories are X-Files. I can't tell all my stories. The book of Daniel proves how the king's food is crap compared to the creator's food. That's how we got here, Sue. Thank you. That is how we got here, because we looked at the kings, and the kings ate tons of meat, and we didn't look at the fact that the kings died at faster rates than what our kids did. And so what did all the poor people do? I want to be a king. So as soon as we got to the West, America, whatever, and we could live wealthy, we decided we could live like kings too, or live like lords. And so we eat the meat like the lords do. We get really, really sick. And people are confused. Now they're dying at the rates the king are. They're not living to 99 like their parents did. who worked on the farm and ate their own food. And people are highly confused as to why. And they think modern medicine is the answer, that their bodies are actually sick and they need these drugs to live longer, when they don't. They just need to stop eating like kings and probably stop putting chemicals in all their damn food. But people don't connect the dots. And the other scary thing about that is, and so we didn't just mimic the king in food, we mimicked the king in lifestyle. We had to have the fast chariot. We had to have the bigger chariot. The chariot with air conditioning, the chariot that parks itself for you. You know, we had to live in the big castle. The little castle won't do, so we can't even smell our kids when they fart at nighttime in the bed. You know, and that pushed our serfdom to other countries, which is what happened. And it pushed it to Mexico. So it went to Mexico. And what happened in Mexico? Mexicans like, oh, damn it, I got to get the hell out of here. And so they ran to America. Now you're mad they came to America because you live like a king, because you don't go back and think about your ancestors were smart enough to not live like a king. But now, I just said this in the vegan videos. So I'm going to stop there. Factory farms are evil and dangerous. Yes, they are. And they're not just dangerous to the animals, but they're killing the humans too. And the humans aren't smart enough to get that. Let me see. All lives matter. Every single life matters, Crystal. And that's what I kind of think too, is that when you get that love in your heart and you start loving yourself again, and you start loving other people enough to just let them be and let them self-determine, stop telling them what they are. When you love your kids enough to not tell them who they are and who they're supposed to be, what religion they gotta be, what race they gotta be, what gender when you get rid of that, have enough love in your heart, it magically manifests itself on animals. You then don't want to self-determine for them. You want them to be free. You realize that when people and things are happy and we have abundance, we don't like to kill each other. When a grizzly bear has food, it doesn't want to eat the bald dude. It doesn't want to eat you either. You know, when the tiger has food, it's not out killing just to kill. It doesn't want to collect money. Nobody told it what gold is. You know, so none of these things are good things. But I think when you put that love in, it starts to change you. And one of the ways I found a lot more love in my life, can't explain why, but I stopped eating meat. When I stopped eating meat, things started shifting. Took the hoodie off. Didn't wear big boots. Didn't walk around with a growl on my face. But I had to walk around with a growl. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. Boy, listen, you had to walk around like this. You just had to have this growl on your face like you were ready to fight anybody said anything to you anytime. Or they just pushed you around all the time. So I had to act tough. Somebody had a great idea. They bust the kids in. They had a great idea. Said, why don't we get the kids from Southeast DC, one of the most violent cities in the world? I think it was a murder capital at the time. And we're going to take those kids and put them into suburban schools, and it's going to help everybody. The suburban kids are going to bring up the kids from the ghetto and just make them good again. That is not what happened. None of that happened. Anybody says a plan to you like that, they're crazy. You need to fix the environments the kids grow in. You don't send them to the suburban neighborhood. Well, I tell you what happened. I saw my first gunman. I met my first drug dealers then. I got asked to go on drives to take people to deliver drugs, you know, because any of y'all say it's bad drug dealers. No, it's because of these young kids at 16. Their parents weren't around. Well, I had a friend whose mother would leave for weeks at a time. And so he was raising his little sister on selling cannabis in the city of DC, you know. So I don't know how we even got there. All these stories in my head. I kind of laugh about this stuff. Oh, and on the gender thing, you know, and it's funny. People say, oh, well, they're trying to change the kids and they're trying to make them all gender neutral. And, you know, that's a bad idea. And they never did this before. You know, when I was in school, you know what we had? We had gender swap day. We had gender swap day back in the 80s. All the boys came to school dressed like girls and the girls came to school dressed like boys. That's not a conspiracy. That wasn't a bad thing. It was a funny thing, but it also was a thing that it gave you a little view into what the other people had to deal with, right? And that's always a good thing. I think kids are going to become what they're going to become no matter what you want. All you can do is screw them up for the first couple decades of their life, giving them an indoctrination and determining for them what they are. I think the greatest love a parent can have is just sitting back and letting a child become what it is. F profit, no sense. And we can F profit, but we gotta love our neighbor enough to stop telling them how to live. We got to love our neighbor enough to not take away their guns. We got to love our neighbor enough to agree, yes, you should have health care. You're ill. Why would I let you die? You know, we got to love our neighbor as much as we love ourselves. But first, we got to start loving ourselves. And we can't even seem to do that. Oh, it's still illegal. I didn't know that, Freya. Thank you. I didn't know. Man, that's crazy. Y'all draconian. Y'all can't even take pictures of animals being starved and beaten, killed. But if you think about it, it makes sense from a profit is king perspective. Money runs our country. And this is why corporations can buy laws, because Americans have no say in their government. I don't know about the countries y'all live in. I can tell you right now, America has no say in government, which is why I get this just boggled look on my face when some American wants to start to tell me that I need to vote for somebody next and I need to get with this party and this group and start doing this. And I'm just like, but they're not in control. Why? Explain to this. Why am I going to vote for a Democrat if I know the Democrats actually don't listen to the Democrat voters? Why would I vote for a Republican if I know the Republicans don't listen to the Republican voters? Why in the hell would I get together, agree with you on some ideas and what we need to do to make things better and move forward, but every time you put somebody in office, Congress, Senate, President, they don't do what you are convincing me that we need to be doing? That's the position of a very special person. Very special person. And so I can't go there. Say I love Putin. I love Putin too. Sue, I do love Putin, but I love Trump too. I loved Obama too. I love Clinton too. And I pray about my love for Clinton every single I love Bernie too. I love them all. You know, you have to, everybody becomes what they're indoctrinated perhaps to be, or what they're screwed up to be, what the environment makes them. Epigenetics takes them down that path. Let me see. You people. Yeah, there's always that you people. There's always some others. Hate for Russia, the product of the Cold War indoctrination. Yes, it is. And it works really well, Joyce. They keep this bigotry and this hate, racism going for Russia, mainly because it's profitable. You know, they got all these people grouped up here, they can get them hate there. And so that group won't look at the dirt that their own group is doing. And Russia doesn't kill anywhere near as many people as we do. So I have no interest in talking bad about Russia. Russia's making a corridor to save lives from our people who are murdering them in Syria. What else we got? I can't see everybody's comments. Let me apologize real quick, though. I can't see everybody's comments because for some reason they don't want me to. This is how part of how censorship or failure in software works. I'm not sure which it is, but live streamers can't see all the comment, which why, by the way, I have a lot of friends who are live streaming now. If you do want to get started and you want to come on and talk about some things, we can do that. Just inbox me. But also don't believe the view counts. Don't believe that the comments that are there are the only comments that are there. You can't see all of them. They're either the software, there's a problem with the app on the cell phones, or there's a problem with the app on the website, or they're actually blocking who you can see comments from. So if you are commenting on something and you're upset, why is someone not saying something, or why aren't they addressing my comment? Half the time it's being blocked, or it's just not working. If you're on a stream and you think there's only 5 people watching you, don't believe that, because they actually play with the numbers too, or it's just not working. But you know, if you are stepping up saying something, keep saying, and don't believe the view counts because they're wrong. If you don't believe me, test it. Go live with your desktop and your mobile phone and you'll realize the differences. Every now and then it's turned on for some reason. I hope it's not censorship though. If you want to save the earth, stop eating meat. Lynn, that is definitely the path. We can't continue to eat meat. The good thing is a lot of people are reducing how much they eat. And that's my message to people. I don't tell them to stop eating meat. I just say, you know what? Why don't you reduce? You know, if we know eating like a king is ignorant and it's destroying the planet and it's killing a lot of wildlife that we don't have to, we're not cherishing what we have, then eat less. Have a meatless Monday. Just start to slow down. And what I find out when people realize that they don't have to eat as much meat because they were just indoctrinated to eat meat, that they'll eat even less meat. So I think we're heading in that direction. But of course you have a few people who are ignorant who still want to say everything. I know everything. And tell you that you have to eat meat. The human body needs meat. And I'm just not going to go there. Cheese is my weakness. I'm trying to incorporate more vegan foods in my diet. Good, Cindy. Go for it, girl. I love cheese too. And I'm slowly getting away from it. Bacon was the worst meat for me to get. I loved me some bacon. That was hard, but I finally even got out of that. And I didn't mean to be vegetarian. It just happened. I slowed down eating meat and I started getting healthy. I started feeling better. I was getting sick less. And so I stopped eating less meat. I started feeling better, lighter on my feet. My weight always went up and down. I used to be a little chubby, like, I used to kind of look like that. And I'd go back and forth. And so I was thinning down. I realized that I was building muscle structure and I wasn't even working out. And all of that happened just by not eating meat. It's the craziest thing on the planet. I know it's the exact opposite of what your trainer tells you. He got veins popping out his forehead and muscles all everywhere. It's the exact opposite. From what I found, the more vegetables, diverse vegetables, right? Not iceberg lettuce, tomatoes, and croutons, but diverse vegetables, the faster muscle structure was put on. It's the craziest thing. And then the fat disappears. So it's like a double gain. And I think that's probably part of it. Your muscles are building how they naturally are supposed to, but then the fat's starting to disappear because your body's utilizing it, and you go to being the shape you need to be, which is self-determining. It's microbiology and your genetics self-determining instead of processed food companies and Monsanto and those flipping your genetics and all the synthetic drugs that are screwing you up, making human beings look every crazy kind of shape on the, human beings come in every shape now, every shape. We will wobble, just whatever you want. And it's not because of them, it's because of what they eat. Let me go down to the last couple comments. I'll wrap it up. I can't stomach eat an animal. I see an animal in my mind and I freak out. Yeah, Lynn, me too. You know what? I like I used to eat the seitan dishes, that wheat protein. Those were good, but there was jackfruit. Oh my goodness. Woo. I love me some jackfruit. Why do I love jackfruit? It scares the hell out of me too. Jackfruit, you can take it and make it look like and taste like any kind of meat you want. Jackfruit, it's got the fibers that get stuck between your teeth and stuff. I was eating, I think it was barbecue jackfruit. I was eating that stuff. It was getting stuck between my teeth like muscle and stuff. And it actually freaked me out so much, I started feeling sick because my body actually thought it was meat. They can take jackfruit and make it taste like because jackfruit has like a really neutral taste. So whatever you season it to, it'll taste like. And most meat, when you're eating it, you're not eating the raw meat like you're indigenous or how we used to eat it. You're eating it with a bunch of herbs and spices and sauces, and all that is vegetables and herbs anyway. So you can take the same vegetable, herb, and spices, the vegetables, and trick the human to make it think that these are good, which is what the compounds do, which is all your endorphin responses from eating all these sauces. That's why sauce actually is good. And you put it on the jackfruit. Tastes just like it. So you don't have to. And the great thing is jackfruit, they big as your head. They big, headquarters. They big as a jackfruit can be big as a human being. All right, let's get down to the bottom. Pharma and FDA is drug dealers that poison. Yes, they are. There is no debate or discussion on that. Wow. And actually, the funny thing, I can see y'all come in the room, but I can't see your comments. And so I know I'm not seeing all the comments, but I go back later and I reread them later. So I appreciate your support in this time where we're fighting tyranny, blocking comments. I only see comments from 4 people. Let me see. I don't see everybody. I don't see everyone you reference. Glenn, thank you, Glenn. Oh my gosh, information is just everything. I know you can't see the people I'm talking to in comments. I can see them, but I can't see other people. So they're playing monkey. They're playing monkey because it affects you. You think you're talking to yourself, you go crazy. Live streamers, they want us to think we're talking to ourselves. They want us to go crazy so they can send the men to the door. What is that thing where they psychologically profile you and they'll send wellness officers to your door because you're starting to go a little crazy. But I go back and I read the comments later. And when I do, I realize I'm like, oh, this person was here. Brother John was here. I didn't see any comments from him, which was odd. And it's because they're blocking him. I think they're blocking him. It could be a software issue, but I think they're blocking him. Nothing wrong with bacon. Just ask my 95-year-old Pat. You know what? Is there anything wrong with bacon? I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go. But I will say this because you said something, John, that makes me think about it. Those who came before us, they lived into their 90s easily. And they drank, they smoked, they did crazy things, and they still outlived us, worked on dangerous equipment, and they lived longer than we did. And I think it's because the bacon they ate was bacon. It actually was beef. It wasn't full of hormones and processed things and chemicals and all these other nonsense, all the drugs that they shoot the animals up with so they don't get sick and die because they're not feeding them their natural grass. And so I think in the grocery store, I don't think much of that is bacon. I think in the grocery store, most of that's just chemicals, and that's why we don't live as long as we do. It's just we don't eat natural, we don't eat healthy. Like somebody asked me the other day, well, what is eating healthy? And eating healthy is if I had to define it, eating what we always ate. If we evolved to eat it, that's eating healthy. Short of like medical studies, like I love PubMed and I love how they study certain compounds and things that come from fruits and vegetables. I love Dr. McGregor. If you don't watch him, you should subscribe to him on YouTube. But I love how they study and they find out there are superfoods. There are things that we used to eat a lot more prolific that are the microbiology in our body and our genetics are predisposed to. But healthy isn't something that your gym trainer is going to show you. Healthy is just eating what we always ate. If we didn't always eat it, it's not healthy. It's not going to end well unless you read a study somewhere that says this thing, this compound and this avocado, and you don't eat avocados, are good for the human body, and you try it, it does well. But eating healthy is just eating what we always ate. And Brother John said everything in moderation, absolutely in moderation. Don't go to any extremes. Don't join it left and right. I've noticed I've been unable to comment in real time recently on live feeds, mostly Gerard saying Progressive and Claudia, not sure what's going on. Yeah, Sharon, they're playing with us. They're kind of playing this game. When you say things that aren't popular, they don't like that. Determination, there's no profit in that. And if they can kind of keep the message and keep the ignorant people over here ignorant and those over there ignorant, but then you got people who are like trying to break down these lines and talk about what makes sense over there, what makes sense over there. They don't like that. It's not that Facebook doesn't like it. It's not that Google doesn't like it. Not that, these are just social media companies. They actually don't care. In fact, if anything, they like all sides and all controversies because that's when people join in. People like drama, but they're being told what to do. They're being handed down from it goes from Wall Street to Democrats and Republicans to social media companies, and they're telling people what they can and can't talk about. So someone told me my videos come up explicit, and I'm just laughing like, explicit? Really? Because I got workers. Yeah, okay. That's the name of the game. I don't get upset with it. You just go with it. You cutting down a plant is now different than me dispatching a fish. Well, you know what? And it's a good point. And this is why I don't like to tell people anything, Glenn. I don't like to tell people what they should or shouldn't do because, are we racist, speciesist towards multicellular organisms more than we are to single cell organisms, right? So everything you eat, everything you kill, something's dying. You take a tomato, yes, you're killing billions of enzymes. You're killing billions of microbiology. And so it's not even just the tomato, but it's also the animal, which is why, like I said, I don't tell people what to do. There are a lot of folks who like to tell them. I give people information. You're smart enough to make your own decisions. And we need to get to that place where we stop telling everybody what to do. It may be that down the road, people don't eat meat. Maybe that they keep eating meat. I don't know. For my life, I just decided not to. They don't want us to have this conversation. Yeah, they don't like people. They don't like common sense. They don't like logic. They don't like moderate. Extremities is what keeps the 1% in power, right? Because if people fight over gun control, they fight over healthcare, they fight over race, they fight over religion, then they start. If people fight over it, then they control everybody. Everybody stays in their little cattle pen, their indoctrination areas, and it's easy to get them to do anything they want. It's easy to invade a world and convince people that this is Christianity. It's easy, it's easy to get smart people who have children to be okay with their tax dollars killing other children. But if people actually start to agree and come together and say, no, these are bad things, and I don't necessarily agree with my neighbor, but I think my neighbor has a right to, and leave him alone, it's not profitable. All right, last couple comments. We'll go down to the bottom and I'm gonna shut down. I hate the fact I can't see everybody's comments, but I'll see them later. I cried for a week when they cut down the giant pine tree across the street. It was my friend. Yeah, And it does. I have friends that are like really attached to trees, attached to plants. But I saw something I got to show you. Now you said that. It makes me think of things. And it's not crazy that you get attached to a tree. It's not crazy.
Need a crappy drawing of a pink bird thing?
Hold on,
Ask-
not a pink bird thing. I don't want the commercial. It's not crazy that you have emotions and you feel things. We know through science that there's connection between microbiology in the trees and in different species. So, and this is in Mexico, and there's an old custom that the Incans do, which I'll leave you on, and I'll let it play through. I cook them my food, let them taste. That's how I get my point across: vegan deliciousness. Yes, Rachel, and living by example. When you live by example and you do things by example, people take that in, and they can then make their own mind up. So this woman just married a tree, by the way. So Sue, you're not crazy. This is an old custom where the women used to marry trees. And hold on, that's some pornography right there. I'll post the link, but it's a custom. So we have a relationship to the planet. We have a relationship to all life. We're all connected. You think oxygen's between you, and it is between you. It's not empty space. It is a thing. It's an element. So everybody and everything is connected. I'm gonna end it on this, but it's okay to marry your tree. Half the time I feel like I married my bonsais. Now I don't grope them, and I don't do pornography, and I probably would never have a wife that's that fine. But damn it, some days it probably is good to be a tree. Anyway, love y'all to death. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.